Hey y'all, I'm Bryan Reeves, Bryan with a Y, Reeves, doing some hiking in my power spot. You might hear some coyotes. Anyway, I wanted to address this question that I get from people all the time. In fact, every day I get messages from people literally all over the world who are overwhelmed with doubt and confusion about a current relationship or a recently expired one. And whatever their story, they're inevitably asking me, should I try to save it? Like, do you think things could ever change between us, get better, right? Should I stay or should I go now? And I asked myself this same question many, many years ago. In fact, I asked a lot of people that question because at the time I was really suffering in my own relationship. And the most consistent answer I got from people was basically, when you just can't run or take it anymore, that's when you should leave. Okay, but the only problem with that answer is that it turns out I could take a lot. And clearly, from the messages that I get every day and the people that I choose to coach, so can many of you. Truly, it is impressive the amount of insanity, the emotional, mental, sometimes even physical abuse that even otherwise strong and confident individuals will put up with in the hope of holding on to love. So now when I get this question, well, I never pretend to know what anyone should or shouldn't do or what can or can't happen in the future. However, if you're trying to save a faltering relationship or thinking about going back to one that recently ended, I can offer you something really valuable to consider. And here it is. In my experience as a relationship coach and in my own relationship experience, I've seen that there are really only two pathways to a meaningfully better relationship. Number one, both of you commit to doing the necessary and long-term interpersonal growth work, which just means expanding your awareness of what's really going on inside of you and inside your partner, and getting beneath all the chaos and confusion, learning and practicing new relational skills that help you stop ignorantly making such a tragic mess out of things. Or something big happens. A near-death experience, the loss of something beyond important, or maybe a life-changing shot of ayahuasca. In other words, some out-of-nowhere 200 proof pure grace miracle happens that suddenly shifts you or your partner's inner compass immediately, profoundly, so that nothing looks the same anymore. Not only does your perspective on the relationship shift, your whole worldview shifts. It's like you had a heart transplant, and that might even be the thing that does it. And everything is different from yesterday to today. That's it. Both of you commit to doing long-term growth work individually and together, and you do it, or just get lucky and win the cosmic lottery and still do the inner work. Otherwise, there is essentially zero chance that anything will change between you, and it will probably just keep getting worse. And your big brain is only going to mess with you a million different ways, holding out for some phantom hope that will always be there so long as you're both breathing, but that also paralyzes you and keeps you in relationship purgatory. Now, a lot of time people will claim the second thing has happened, right? The cosmic lottery thing, particularly if they're the ones losing the relationship they did not choose to lose. And now they want a second, maybe even 100th chance. How can you know for sure it's for real? The truth, you probably can't. Time can, but you can't. And I assure you, even when you or your partner have been bestowed with real grace, without the commitment to continue learning and growing in your capacity to genuinely love yourselves and each other, the likelihood of old, unskillful patterns reemerging is extremely high. After all, you and your partner have both been acting out whatever your unskillful patterns for a long time, probably even before you met. So even with some shock of new insight, it can still take time for the body, the nervous system to really learn the new tune. So I always recommend to people considering whether to stay or leave, if you decide to stay, make it a non-negotiable requirement that you get outside support from a professional, a coach, a therapist, someone you both agree feels right to work with, even if you have to shop around a bit to find who or what works for you. Because how are you going to create anything different unless someone with a fresh perspective, a fresh spirit, and no personal stake in what happens steps in to help you both see your blind spots, all the ways that you're projecting your own wounds and fears onto each other, and then help you learn to do things differently. the likelihood is low without support. And for those of you too stubborn or proud to think you need support, I say it takes far more courage to admit you don't actually know what you're doing and get help than it does to just keep pretending otherwise. After all, acting like you know how to do this messy relationship stuff is what's gotten you into this mess in the first place. So there you go. I hope that's helpful. Please share this video. You never know who might be living this right now and needs to hear this message. And leave a comment below. Let me know your experience. I'm Bryan Reeves, Bryan with a Y Reeves. Get 7 free videos to better understanding your partner and other love insight goodies on my website at bryanreeves.com. It's Bryan with a Y, Reeves.com. All right, peace.